And we are recording. And immediately I burp. Hello, David.
Hello, Alex.
How are you today?
Not too bad. How about you?
I'm doing all right.
Doing good?
Yep. So, yeah, this is the first episode of our new podcast. I guess we're doing a podcast now.
I guess so.
Yeah. The Midnight Oil.
The Midnight Oil, episode 1.
Yes. So, a week or two ago, we're trying to come up with names, and we listed off a few, but there's something about the Midnight Oil, like when you said it, like it just seemed right. It seemed like the only name that could work.
I guess it kind of fit our intentions for the podcast, but also the potential mood as well.
Right, yeah.
We're both fans of chance encounters and small back alleys, unexpected discoveries, as we both live in Japan, and there are certainly many strange nooks and crannies, you could say, around Japanese cities.
Right, yeah. When it comes to visiting new places, I think planning is a little overrated. I'm all about just going somewhere and just having like chance encounters with people or, you know, various establishments or whatever you come across. It's more memorable that way.
And on many of our drinking forays, we never planned, we just...
No. Speaking of which...
saw where the night took us, I guess.
Some of my, favorite places in the world, well, a lot of them happen to be here in the city, but I found most of them either, by myself or with you, just randomly going somewhere.
Definitely the strongest memories, I think.
Yeah, with
those
zero plan.
Yeah. Do you recall the squirrel on the door and the older lady who'd had that bar open for 30 years? Do you remember that bar?
I do, yeah. That's the same night you, tucked up your leg.
That's when I made a jackass out of myself.
Yeah.
In front of a bar.
Jackass. Yes.
But yeah, we often would go up to doors and we kind of take turns. In Japan, a lot of bars are kind of hidden behind a door, as in there's no window. You literally just have the door. And we weren't young then, but we were a little bit nervous about what might lay on the other side. So we'd both kind of take turns to peek inside and occasionally run away.
I mean, in a sense, it is kind of terrifying. You go into a building and you immediately enter an elevator, go up a couple floors, you come out, and all you see is just a little, what do you call it, a lobby area?
Yeah. Corridor, I guess.
Corridor. With maybe 3 doors leading to various bars, and more often than not, they are not descriptive in any way, in their signage or the doors. There's no window, you can't see through them. Sometimes you'll hear people laughing or making a commotion inside, so you can kind of get a sense of what's going on in there. Sometimes it's complete silence.
Yeah, sometimes it's deadly silent.
Yeah.
There might be a couple of abandoned umbrellas by the door. You don't even know if it's an open bar. It could just be an empty room or something.
Right, yeah. So you got to make a decision. Do you just leave, or do you try going in there?
Obviously, the more drunk you get, the easier it becomes to open the door.
Right.
But
also, for context, it's not awkward because we're not Japanese and we're foreigners. It's awkward for Japanese people as well.
To be honest, it might be even more awkward for them. I think, because a lot of them won't even open the door unless they have some connection to someone who's
Yeah.
already been in there.
A lot of people will say, I can't go there. I haven't been
Never been there before.
introduced.
Which actually does remind me of one of the occasions where probably we had our most awkward entrance to a bar. It
Most awkward.
It was a members bar.
Is that the one with the peanuts?
That's it. Yeah. We entered a bar that we both knew was members only, but I think we were pretty intoxicated at the time. And it just looked so weird that we felt compelled to enter. And
yeah, so we walked in.
Do you want to explain the peanuts? Or?
Yeah, we walked in, and it's a small place, like a very narrow, like counter-only kind of bar. We walk in, it's a fucking mess inside. It looks filthy. It looks like some, like, tiny sports bar from, like, I don't know, like Alabama after, like, a rowdy, like, night.
Something's gone off. Yeah.
We walk in, there's the bartender behind the bar, and there's one customer, like some dude in his 50s or 60s, like sitting at the counter. Not sitting, but standing at the counter. And we walk in, and they both look at us. And from our perspective, it's those two dudes, like, looking at us, and they're surrounded by, like, empty peanut shells on the floor.
I think the floor was completely covered
in peanuts.
In monkey nuts shells, right? We call them monkey nuts.
Monkey nuts.
It's like the one you have to break open, right?
Yeah. Like little peanut shells.
Covered.
Yeah.
An inch thick.
Yeah, it looks like someone went in there and like fuck shit up.
Looked like a hamster cage or something. But from the outside, I remember it was like a purple color maybe, and it had like a vinyl record next to the sign or something. So
that I don't recall. I just remember those two people looking at us like
the bartender,
like we're the crazy ones.
The bartender kind of like froze, like some Japanese people do sometimes, just like froze, and then they realized they maybe couldn't say in English that it was members only. And we kind of got the idea immediately and just turned around and beelined out of there.
Yeah.
But it was like those like 5 seconds of pure like horror awkwardness that you don't forget.
Right.
I think. Yeah. A bit Lynchian, would you say?
Exactly, yes.
Very Lynchian.
It's like
very
you open the door and your first thought is like, Jesus, what did I just interrupt?
I've entered a world I do not belong.
Yes.
So yeah, that was our encounter with a members bar. Yeah, but as you say, over the years we have kind of discovered some gems. I think had some really good experiences too. Yeah.
Many places.
Met some really cool bartenders.
Yeah. Going out for drinks in Japan is much different than it is back in the States, in the sense that bars in America, you typically think like corporate owned sports bars, or like family restaurants like Applebee's that also have like, you know, a sports bar section. People go to like, you know, watch the game or something. In Japan, you have the izakaya restaurants, which are like restaurants that have a heavy emphasis on serving drinks
with food, right?
Yeah, with food.
Order food as well. Yeah.
You typically go to those with like, you know, groups of coworkers or friends. Then after that, you have various types of bars. So you can find like sports bars, like American style in Japan, but they're not so common. Usually what you find are much smaller places that cater to smaller groups of clientele. It can be like a little space that can seat, sometimes in some cases like up to like 5 people only, right?
They're usually returning clientele as well.
Yeah.
They're regulars.
Yeah.
So they're usually not people who just walked in like us. That's their bar.
Right. Yeah. People, I think the drinking culture, the bar culture in Japan, it's more catered to having like your own little place to go drinking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to my bar tonight.
Like a really toned down version of Cheers, you would say.
Yeah, yeah. It's like Cheers, but without all the ancillary tables.
Yeah.
Right.
And the sports chat.
Yeah, yeah. If Cheers was like a one counter only bar with all the regulars that are on the show.
It's not even everyone knows your name. It's like you maybe have a connection with the bartender, or that's just somewhere you feel comfortable going.
Yeah. That's how I used to practice my Japanese when I first came to Japan.
It's a good way to learn. Yeah.
Because at work, I was speaking 99% English, so there's no real chance to speak. I could hear Japanese and improve my listening at work, but there's no output.
Yep.
So going to little bars like that where I can talk to the owners was very nice.
Yeah. So do you think this chat on Japanese drinking culture has informed our listeners of the potential theme of this podcast, our aims? Certainly they might get a grasp on the atmosphere.
Yeah, this will be a platform to discuss things that are a little off the beaten track, I guess you would say. Yeah, off kilter. Things that could be a little melancholy, could be a little nostalgic, could be a little dark as well.
Yep.
In our day-to-day conversations, the stuff we talk about tends to veer in that direction.
Sure. So you could say the Midnight Oil is a kind of window into our late night chats that we might have in such bars that we just described.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Anything we've seen, watched, anything that pops in there that I think would be interesting to people who like more unusual conversation topics. Yeah.
Yes, I think our topics will be quite niche, but for people who are into that, hopefully it'll be very interesting.
Yeah. Did you have any to bring up on the debut episode? I guess I was thinking this week, of course, the OceanGate thing that happened, that of course everybody is aware of, is not such a off-kilter.
Oh, right.
Topic.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of a very mainstream topic.
It's been covered quite well, I think, by a lot of YouTubers, news outlets.
Right. It was pretty much like the biggest thing for about a week in international news. My exposure to it was a little different, I think, because just as some background, I'm a huge fan of a game on PC called Dusk. It's kind of it's like a throwback homage to games like Quake or Doom, like 90s shooters, kind of like a
first person,
right, with like really like old school like PlayStation 1 era graphics.
Those games always had quite a demonic vibe.
Yeah. So a really awesome game. I still recommend you play it. Soundtrack is great as well.
Definitely games to be played in the dark.
Yeah.
Or low light.
It's one of those games where, like, as you play it, you can feel the love that the creator of the game had.
Yeah.
When making it, like you can tell, like he wears his passions like on his sleeves. I guess that's a phrase.
I think so.
Yeah. And anyway, so this game developer, he made another game in 2022 or 2021. A little game called Iron Lung.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yes.
It's covered by some YouTubers, I think.
Yeah, so I first heard of it through Nexpo
Yeah.
on YouTube. And basically the premise of the game is you are, please fill in any information gaps I have. You're like a convict.
Maybe a convict, yeah.
In the future. And whatever like planet you're from decides to send you on some,
it's like an expedition kind of
yeah,
thing? Yeah.
to like another planet somewhere that's like, it's like an ocean planet. And you're put into a submarine with no windows and dropped into this planet that is just an ocean.
Wasn't it an ocean covered in like blood? A blood ocean?
It was, yes.
Was it?
Blood ocean, yes.
Did I just imagine, is that my sick mind or is that
I'm pretty sure that's part of it.
the
Yes.
thing? And isn't like the planet, the original planet, like dying or something? So they're trying to like, find a new planet to live on? That's why you're like exploring it, maybe? I don't know. There was something you have to locate on that planet, right?
That I don't recall.
Would it be resources or life forms or something? But you had to find something on that planet because the submersible that you're in has some kind of radar system or something.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
There's something that you're trying to find
in
this submersible.
Yeah. Very basic submersible.
With 0 windows.
Yeah.
That's like the size of like basically like 2, I don't know.
Like a queen size bed or something.
Yeah. Like the back of a pickup truck or something, I was going to say.
And perhaps it has like a external, like very basic camera or something, so you can see a camera feed or something.
Yes, but it's not a continuous camera feed.
Okay, it takes still images.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically you have to, like in this little submersible in this planetary blood ocean, you travel along by entering like coordinates. Like you can't see where you're going. You enter coordinates. And wherever you are, if you want to get a sense of what's around you, you can hit a button and it takes a photo, but it's not instant. It takes a few seconds to like have the photo show up. Yeah. And when it does show up, it's always this like grainy, staticky, like looks like an analog image that came from like one continent
PS1
over.
game or something.
Like
yeah,
like this really, really like
distorted image.
Distorted, like grainy looking thing. So that's your only like connection with like the world you're traversing. And that and like whatever sounds you hear. And the horror of the game is like you will end up hearing these like really horrifying sounds, and they can end you.
I think they will end you eventually.
So
here's a question though: would you rather have the submersible that is controlled by entering coordinates, or the Logitech joypad from the OceanGate submarine? Do you trust Logitech enough in the blood ocean?
Oh, that's difficult. I kind of love Logitech as a company.
Okay.
I like them. That said,
do you think that's sufficient for a submersible? Then?
For those of you listening who don't know, the
I guess we have to explain the design of the Titan OceanGate submersible.
Yeah, so the OceanGate submersible that ended up imploding, it came under fire from a lot of press for being controlled by like a $30 Logitech controller. And it was huge news for a couple of days. But then apparently other people have come out saying like, actually for these kinds of submersibles, this is very standard.
Yeah, I think the defects in the submersible are not related to that controller.
Right,
there are
right.
worse things about it than that.
Yeah.
So.
However, looking at the images of that specific controller, it's like, Jesus, you had to go with the one that looks like it was made in like the 90s.
It's not a new one. I think it's got like coloured buttons and things.
Yeah.
But this another YouTuber, Skier Theatre, who's done some collaborations with Nexpo, he did like a video about this, kind of more on the design of it. And they did have some like control issues with like thrusters doing the opposite of what they were asking. So they were like reversing when they wanted to go forward or something. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the controller per se. Maybe more to do with the design of the thrusters, maybe.
Yeah. So.
But it seems like the choice of carbon fiber as a whole material was the major issue with the submersible.
Yeah. So, going back to that game.
Back to the game. Yeah.
Iron Lung. The reason why I bring this game up is because, again, he is also the developer of like that Dusk game that I really like. So a while ago, I found him on Twitter, and I've been following him for a while. And this past week, or was it last week?
Last couple of weeks, I said.
Yeah. During the whole OceanGate fiasco, I've been noticing his tweets on Twitter, and apparently his game Iron Lung has like exploded in popularity due to the whole like mystery and like tragedy of that submersible. So like reading his comments, it kind of seems like it was kind of a mind fuck for him. Like, are you happy, or like, do you celebrate? Do you like mourn?
I think these days, as an independent creator, amateur filmmaker, game designer, you've got to take the wins where you can get them.
So like I was reading some of his like comments, and he actually replied to the comments. One of the people that commented on his tweet asked something like, so when you created the game Iron Lung, was this did you have something like OceanGate in mind, or did you just try to think of something really fucked up? And his response was, I honestly tried to think of the most like fucking disturbing thing that could like happen and make a game out of it. It's like, whoa.
It's quite interesting that entrepreneurs also have the same ideas. Follow through on them. And then allow paying passengers to enter them as well.
Yeah.
Including 19-year-old children.
Yeah, that tweet that tweet specifically like really stuck with me. Like, wow, this dude made this really like popular game, and the whole like concept behind it was, this is the most like fucked up thing I can imagine.
I think it's pretty
and then it
up,
happens.
Yeah. I mean, my things would be like buried alive.
Yeah. Well, it's very close to being buried alive.
Basically, yeah. I mean, and not being able to communicate, but you can hear something outside there. Mm-hmm. You have no idea what it is. You can't see it, and
right,
can kill you at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did pretty well in the most fucked up thing you could imagine.
Yeah. I told you I tried playing Iron Lung and I couldn't stick with it.
But would the OceanGate incident like compel you to want to play that game? I don't know. Like, I was interested in the game before the OceanGate incident.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Like, you see the news and you're like, you want to play a game
according
like that?
to the sales data, yes.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
We live among the depraved.
Yeah, I guess I brought it up because, like, nature, people not respecting nature or getting in trouble, kind of happened with a celebrity death this week that was reported. They finally found Julian Sands' body. Did you hear about that?
I'm not following, no.
Julian Sands was a Hollywood actor. He was the spider expert in arachnophobia.
Oh, I vaguely remember this headline. Yeah, he was found in the woods.
Basically, he went missing in January.
Yeah.
And he was found last week.
Like in the woods or like near a river or something?
He went hiking near a waterfall trail in California, near Los Angeles. And it's like a fairly popular hiking trail. It's not a particularly hard one. But he was known for often going up there. But he would go up there in winter when it was snowbound and there were avalanche warnings, and he would go up there by himself.
Yeah.
As well. And they sent out like multiple search parties, and he was eventually discovered by just 2 like hikers last week.
It's crazy to think that you can go missing like that, like so close to a huge city like LA.
Yeah. Like the place where he parked his car is like next to a hotel lodge. You can like stay all year round. But just a few miles off that car park or trail, you can just be lost for like 6 months. With like professional teams searching for you. It's really a needle in a haystack situation.
I think humanity kind of, what's the word, overestimates its... I think humanity's overly confident when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
They think, oh yeah, we can go in the woods, there's no problem.
Yeah.
Well, you can go in, but the problem is getting out. Sometimes.
But he was, I guess, like fairly experienced at hiking in that area. So, do you think there was some other reason, like he just went up there to not come back? Or, it's possible.
I don't know. I'd have to get more information on it.
Of course, we don't know his personal life or anything, but
yeah,
he was acting at the time, I think. So,
I mean, people do sometimes go out there to end it,
Yeah. Well, we have a literal suicide forest in Japan.
Yeah.
But of course we're like, just throwing that out there. But maybe you do just get a bit cocky, or you just get in trouble and you don't realise the danger you're in until it's too late, right? You know how fast the weather can change or how things can turn.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That goes for on land, on sea, under the sea.
On blood planets.
Yes, blood planets. In the black void of space as well.
Sure.
Yeah. Which in your opinion would be more terrifying? Being trapped in a tight container like that in like the blackness of space, just like floating, or in like the bottom of some like deep ocean somewhere without any context of like where you are.
I think I'd probably take space, to be honest.
You would take space?
Over that. Yeah.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
I think
Because
I would too.
to sleep, I listen to brown noise sometimes. Like space engine sounds.
Nice.
You know, like you have those YouTube, like waterfall sound or rain sound.
Yeah.
I listen to like the ship from Alien.
That's
like
awesome.
traveling through
Yeah.
sound. I find that oddly comforting, like floating
Yeah.
through space. And
I'll just put it out there.
you would float forever, right? You would.
Brown noise is way better than white noise.
That's not a racial comment. We're just saying.
No.
Brown noise. Brown noise matters.
Brown noise.
Too soon.
Brown noise.
But yeah, like the idea of just like continuing through space to infinity is oddly comforting, I think.
Yeah.
Like under the sea, it would just like there's a limit to it.
Well, if you're in that position where you're trapped and you can't escape,
and there are also weird things outside.
yeah, it's more of a suffocating feeling.
Yeah. We haven't seen like movies with aliens like attacking ships in open space, have we? Like, they're always on a planet or something.
Right.
So, but in the sea, you don't know what's like outside the window. It could be anything there.
Yeah.
In space, you're like oddly alone. Like
It's like alone and like blissful.
the tagline of the Alien movie is literally "No one can hear you scream,"
Mm-hmm.
which could be comforting to
Yeah.
some people.
Yeah. Yeah, under the ocean, it's a more oppressive situation.
Environment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like to go to space, actually, like going from the Earth to a point where you're in space, is the most dangerous part of going to space, isn't it?
Yeah. Aside from the radiation.
But the ship is, designed to deal with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think so.
but you wouldn't worry necessarily about that. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a lot of my feelings from movies, so that could be good or bad. I don't know, but 2001: Space Odyssey, you're like just floating from planet to planet. Sounds kind of great sometimes. Yeah.
I agree.
The darkness, but outside is this infinite thing we cannot comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have my answer. I'm guessing you're the same?
Yeah, I would choose space over.
You choose space?
Yeah, over the depths of the ocean. With space, it's like discovering a new frontier.
Right.
With the ocean, I guess you can argue maybe it's also discovering a new frontier. Depends on where you go in the ocean, but
I think we're also infringing upon other organisms' space as well, right? Like that is their environment. We don't belong there. It's part of this planet. So.
And if you want to get a little deep with it, if you're like plunging into the ocean, like down, 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 way down, versus going up into the heavens, it's almost like choosing like heaven or hell.
Are you kind of bring up Heaven's Gate now?
I'm not, but
Are we going culty?
like, would you rather go up or go down? It's not a coded question. Would you rather go up or down?
Don't ask the prostitute that question. Most of us reach for the stars, don't we?
Yeah.
We like to be up there than down there in the mud.
Whereas the worst of us are scum, or we say they're going to hell. They can.
Well, in religious terms, going to hell literally means going down, right? So,
Yeah.
So you can understand why most people would be more inclined to want to go up, ascend.
When you think of someone going to heaven, you imagine them like ascending. Right.
Bad people being dragged down, literally.
Where do zombies come from, dude? They come from down there. They come out of the ground.
They came from George Romero's head.
Yeah, that too.
Walking ones only, running ones no. Okay, well, would you like to end it on where zombies come from? Or?
Mom, where do zombies come from?
Well, I don't know. I guess I saw them in a movie once. So from Hollywood.
California.
Some messed up man in Hollywood.
The zombos are from California.
Snorting that cocaine at bikini party. Having some crazy ideas.
Wow, Mom, you know everything.
Brains.
All right. So this is basically like a pilot episode for us.
Pilot.
It's our pilot.
We
yeah.
took off.
Yeah, that's right. Taking off.
Ascended.
Going to the heavens. So yeah, we'll be back in the next one with more like this, I'm assuming.
Yeah. More deep thoughts, more things off kilter.
Yeah.
We might talk games, movies, anything really.
Yeah, I'm very open for what this can be, this platform, this podcast.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
See you on the next
one. If anyone's listening out there, nice to meet you.
In space or under the sea?
Anywhere. Spotify.
Trying to communicate with aliens. All right. See you on the flip side.
Goodbye.